Okay.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. We made it.
Okay. Yay.
We're a little bit early, but that's okay. I just want to make sure that this was working. So I want to thank Abarahita from India for coming up here. We're a little bit early, but that's okay. I just want to make sure that this was working. So I want to thank Abarahita. Okay. Can you hear me, Sabrina?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. All right. So we're just gonna, oh, there's 14 watching. Okay, thank you all for joining us. I'm gonna try to get this, every time I have a live stream, it's just, it's like the beginning again. I'm trying to figure out how it works and where all of the sounds are coming from. So, good. We've got a bunch of people on. Thank you for joining us from Vienna, Australia. Look at all these folks. Tell us where you're from. That way we know. I need to get to Vienna one day. That's definitely
Well, I
what
can't the people. How much am I supposed to? How?
well, you need to turn on the comments. So I don't know how it works on your side, Sabrina, but
I don't see anything.
I will read them to you as they come along. But let's just, there's Tanini from Germany. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so it's been a while since we've talked online. I don't remember the last time it was. It was a few months ago, wasn't it? Yeah. So the last time we talked, I think you had come back with your PET scan and everything was clear, right?
Right.
That's what happened.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. When the PET scan came out clear, then my oncologist said, well, just make sure it's all gone. We're going to do 3 more rounds of chemo. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't want to do that, but we did that. And then there was another PET scan, and then it came up with a glimmer of something, just actually some glitter years ago for a split second.
So let everybody know what's going on with this.
Well, so then the doctor, when she saw the glimmer, put me on the chemo pill. And I was supposed to be on it for 3 months, for 2 weeks on and a week off. And about just a few days in, something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. And then by the 7th day point, I was calling her going, something's going sideways real fast here. Because I had a little bit of neuropathy during chemo where you were sensitive to hot and cold and you felt tingling and prickles and stuff like that in my hands. But this was out of control. I mean, it took my hands and it took this one up to here. It was climbing, and it was climbing my legs too. It felt like I had compression socks on up over my knees. And then this went into an incredible pain. So she sent me to one hospital and they gave me a shot that lasted a month. I'm still bruised from that. And then she decided that we needed to get me to the VA hospital. So I had to go there for a few days, and they did a series of labs trying to figure out what was going on. They did multiple ultrasounds and an x-ray of my arm because I was in excruciating pain, a lot of pain with this one.
Yeah.
I was getting through it like a champ and seeing the finish line, and all of a sudden, bam, here comes this.
Yeah.
So it's been the hardest part of the whole process. And I mean, it threw me into some pain. They had me on morphine. They put me on a bunch of different drugs, and they sent me home. Well, then she said, okay, it's not the drugs. It's not the drug I put you on. And I was like, yes, it was. That was the only thing that was different. And then she said, there's something wrong with your brain. And I was like, says you and all my friends, And so then she does a test, some kind of scan on my brain. It came up clear. So then she wanted an MRI with or without contrast. So they're shooting you up and stuff. And that came up clear. And then she says, we're going to do a spinal tap. And I said, back up, we're not going to do anything. No, you're going down the wrong road here, And she just was holding on to the fact that it wasn't the drugs. Well, the head of the hospital told me it was the drugs. The
Yeah.
neurologist told me of the hospital, the head neurologist, the head of ER, the head internist, they all came in and told me it was the drugs, and I was like, I know it was the drugs. So she got hurt about that because I asked for a second opinion. And saying it's being recorded, I'm going to hit that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I forgot to start the recording, so we're going to start the recording now. So,
okay, so anyway, so long story short, she sent me home from the hospital. She's kind of ghosted me since then. We're supposed to have a virtual, on the phone visit coming up the 15th.
yeah.
Around there, because I'm getting another PET scan, and I'm just praying, and I'm going to acupuncture. I've had physical therapists in and out of my house, and acupuncture. I just kept hearing that little voice. You can call it. I've always said there's this divine little voice, and I recognize it, and it's commanding. And sometimes I physically hear it, and sometimes I just keep hearing this little whisper. I keep hearing this little whisper. And it's always on this side of my head. It's always like the little angel on the shoulder kind of thing on my right shoulder. Well, anyway, so it kept telling me acupuncture, acupuncture. And I kept telling my oncologist, I've responded really well to that in the past, and she was like, whatever kind of thing. Well, I fast tracked it through my primary and went to the acupuncturist that's like 1 mile up the road from me. So, she's great. And the guy that taught her has taken over with me. And it was a very painful first visit. And, but so he's used the biggest
big needles
that he's got. But, I'm feeling more movement. I mean, at one point, the lines on my palm went away. I was kind of,
wow.
Oh,
and you can read palms. You can read palms. So imagine what that meant.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm going. Where am I going? But the thumb is moving. He's still not doing whatever he's supposed to do. This finger's still got a problem. So my right, so I've not been able to drive. I'm really patient with myself and in slow motion when I'm picking things up because I was just dropping things left and right. And, cooking is scary because I've burnt myself and cut myself. And when you're numb,
Yeah.
And I've actually thought about designing clothes for people with neuropathy because getting dressed is stupid. I mean, just head to toe. You're just like, well, how do I do this? So anyway, I was telling Alba before this, I got this weird sports bra on, and all I could do was the clasp on the front. I can't even do the zipper. So good thing y'all can't see that,
So we talk, Sabrina and I talk all the time. And one of the things that you always say, Sabrina, is it's not what's happening to you. It's what's happening
for you.
What's happening for you. So as you've been going through this, why do you imagine that this is happening for you?
It's been very clear. I started, a friend of mine, when this first went down, sent me this daily Jesus prayer on YouTube. And they also have devotionals. The prayer lasts like 15, 17 minutes, something like that. And it's a good way to start your day. And then there's this devotional. Well, it's an algorithm, but it freaks me out how it reads my mind and what I need to hear. I mean, and recently it said, why is there suffering? And it pointed out that some chosen people go through a lot of pain and suffering. I know that's part of the program with me. Okay. And it's how you react to it, for one thing. But it said that the reason for this was because if you're suffering, of course, I've said it's teaching me compassion. It's teaching me what others are going through. And me surviving this and getting to the other side of it and thriving past it is a reason for testimony to people that are suffering. So it'll give them hope and give them help. So I'm going through all this. I mean, there's been some ridiculous pain, but I'm going through all of this in order. And whenever, I mean, really, when that Hurricane Helene came through, I was here by myself. Well, I had Butters, but
Butters is your little dog. For those of you who don't know, Butters is her little baby.
Butters be Sean. Well, he was with me, but I mean, I kept getting in and out of the shower. I have a walk-in shower, thank God. And then I was like getting in and out of the hot shower all night long during that storm, I guess, because it made me feel bad. I was just crying with pain. I was in so much pain. And I was just surrendering, please, God, just take this and, help me understand and help me, do your will kind of thing, whatever you need me to do with this. But it was just, so I'm doing a lot better than that. I got off all the pills they sent me home with. They tried to put me, she had me on Cymbalta and Cymbalta is I had just seen something. There's these two doctors called the nerve doctors on YouTube, and they talk about neuropathy. And the female doctor says, that doctors don't have time to do all the studies on this because they're dealing with so many patients. I said, that makes sense. So her mother had neuropathy so bad from chemo treatment that she dove in and, looked at all the studies about it. And yeah, there's help and there's cures for it and stuff like that. Because they'll tell you, I mean, no matter who you talk to, they're like, well, this could be temporary, it could be permanent. I'm like, well, I'm going to swipe left on that too. I'm not listening to what people say when I know I've got a better agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could just look up on
And
it. But,
this is not new for you going through pain. A lot of people don't realize that your pain journey began when you were a little girl.
yeah, 8 years old. Yeah. I felt
Tell everybody what happened when you were 8 years old.
I fell 33 feet out of the top of a tree when I was 8 years old. And that was the beginning of the pain journey. I think I was doing some pain before that, but it was a full near-death experience. That's something we probably have to put on another, get together. Because yeah, that was a lot of pain. And I was paralyzed from the neck down after that. And I had a doctor come in and tell me, you're going to be crippled from the neck down the rest of your life. You're not going to last very long. You're going to be a burden on your parents. I mean, just kind of why do people, there's always that one that is the antagonist of the story that you have to go, you know what, you might think you're the smartest person in a room, but God's got you, and and I just had a conversation with Jesus up in heaven, so I know it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, you've been through many different scenarios where people didn't think you were going to make it,
right?
And you always made it through.
Yep, and that's what I have to keep in mind. I mean, I've got all these little mantras I'm constantly saying to myself because look, I'm not get all cheerful going through this all the time. I mean, I got bad days, I got bad moments. I get very frustrated. This has been so frustrating.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, I have to check myself all the time. I have to keep myself in check, that thoughts equal things. There's a lot of little books I read along the way. They all boil down to the secret between, Shakti Gawain's creative visualization to the magic of believing to psycho-cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. There's just a lot of things I've read along the way that I agreed with the stuff that I knew from, coming back from the other side. And we are made up of a gazillion atoms. In those atoms is a space, and that space is God. So we're made up of God, and we can talk to God on a cellular level in our body. We represent God. We're children of God. We're an expression of God. So there's a lot of quantum stuff going on, So I talk to my cells. I talk to my body. I allow healing. So all of the people out there that have sent me all this love, and all of healing and all of these prayers is a whole other prayers have saved my life.
Sabrina, I remember one time I had a client come over, and she really wasn't brought up with any type of religious background. Well, I wasn't either, but she really didn't understand what prayer was.
Right.
And she says, do you really believe that, if someone prays, that's going to help anything? And I said, absolutely. I said, I pray like all day long. I never do anything without asking for help because whether I can see it or not, I can't see anything. I'm not, what is it, Claire? I don't have the Claires, what is it, the visual one?
Clareless?
What is it?
Are you clareless?
Well, I'm Clareless. Clueless and Clareless. So I don't know that there's people around me, beings around me, though I know that I always have beings around me.
Right.
But I don't see them, but I believe that they're always there. And because of
been-
all of the things that I've been learning from other channels and just knowing that it works, I always ask for help. I'm a single woman. I don't have the strength I did at all that I did, years ago. And when I'm trying to do something physically, the first thing I do is I ask for help. I say, I can't do this. I can't do
Like
this.
I can pick something up and I go, Jesus, can you give me some strength here? And all of a sudden, boom, I can't. It's so crazy. But
And it happens every time, like there's a really heavy package in the back of the car. And it's like, oh, how am I going to get this out? And I say, I can't do this on my own. I need help. And boom, all of a sudden I get the strength, or it just happens that I'm able to do this that I couldn't do it before. So I know that it helps. I know that it works. I know that just asking for help, it works.
Well, I'm being checked too. Like when I first, the first like 4 or 5 days I was home from the hospital, I was just bedridden. I was frozen. And then after that, try to pick something up, I drop it. I'm dropping bottles of water left and right. Everything I picked up, I was dropping, and I would go, damn it. It's like, damn it, and then all of a sudden I heard somebody say, damn it, just like that. I was laying in my bed and the door is probably 6 to 7 feet away from the bottom corner of my bed. And it was like somebody was standing at the door saying, damn it, just like I was saying it. And Sue, she's been helping me. A friend has been helping me. She's here and there. Well, I'm like, Sue? Like, what? That was so weird. And she comes running, what? And I said, where were you? She says, I was in the kitchen. That's clear on the other side of the house. I said, did you come in here and say, damn it? She goes, no, why would I do that?
They were making fun of you.
I was like, now that I think of it, it didn't sound anything like Sue. Actually, it sounded just like me. So it was like somebody was mimicking me and letting me know how ridiculous I sounded. And look, don't get frustrated. This is all part of the program. And I still get frustrated, but that I just keep thinking about, I was like, they're just all standing there laughing at me. They're laughing at me, and I signed up for this. This is something I said, okay, it's worth it. I'll do it. And here I am, all frustrated that they're just laughing at me about it.
Yeah.
It's almost like when a kid is carrying a bunch of crayons, and their art supplies, and they're trying to get from one place to another, and they keep dropping everything. It's like, well, you're the one who wanted to be an artist. This is part of it. Carry all these. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think about that like a child. They laugh at me like I'm a kid,
And I remember, Sabrina, the first time, this happened, where this all happened, and this is online. It was when you were in the hospital and you got the diagnosis, and we did a 5-minute, maybe 7-minute session.
The shortest session we've ever done, and it was so profound.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh. And I can't get through it without crying because it was so intense.
Yeah.
And I've tried to put people onto it and they can't get through it without crying because, it's something else.
Yeah. And that, it was funny because, I'm always trying to help you in a way. And, we've done miraculous things together where, your shoulder, what was it, your shoulder? What were the things that we worked on?
Fibrocystic. I had cysts in my breast for like decades. It started when I was playing basketball. People, women are bad under the net. They're like, oh, yeah, or whatever. I was like, that'll leave a mark, Well, later on, you got this fibrocystic thing, and I always blamed it on that. But every time I had a mammogram, they'd send me right for a sonogram, and then they, and you go, what's going on? Excuse me, they would it'd scare you,
Yeah. Yeah.
every single time. And from the time you did that session, you were doing something with some golden light or something. It was almost like Wonder Woman's lasso, this golden light thing, this rope or whatever. And you did the shoulder and you did those 5 or 6. That was the first session we ever had. That was right before class.
That was
And,
what, 2018?
That was 19, I think. Spring of
2019. Okay.
And I mean, every mammogram I've had since, it was clear. And I told him, I was like, I used to have like 16 cysts in there.
Wow.
They're all gone,
So that's why I believe that maybe I could help you while we were in the hospital to see if we could do some sort of instant healing. And then, Jesus comes through and basically says, this is your journey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And here's the thing, y'all. Alba was there. She was there. I mean, I called a friend of mine to go pick up Butters from day camp and take him to his house. And then my ex was just blowing up my phone, and we had just gotten divorced. And it was a hard, long road, that divorce. And something told me, just tell him. And he lost it, and he came there,
Yeah.
Then here comes Alba, and Alba goes, you want to have a session? I mean, it was like a revolving door. People were running in and out of the room. They were getting ready to do a liver biopsy on me. And, I have never, I'm never in the hospital. I don't have surgeries. You know what I mean? I just was always real sturdy. And, I mean, and I go to the hospital, I've hurt myself pretty bad. I mean, there's been a few times, but, this just wasn't, wasn't part of my program kind of thing at the time. But I was like, let's do a session. I'm like, how? I mean, there's so many people coming in and out.
The nurses were coming in and out, in and out.
Like crazy. And I mean, immediately, here comes Jesus. And, he says, and of course, Alba facilitates it beautifully. And, he said he was going to be there every step of the way. And I've called him out on that. I'm like, you said you were going to be here every step of the way. And actually, when I was in the hospital for all these labs and stuff they were doing, when I went in for the MRI for my brain, okay, there was one point where I reached out. I don't know why I did that. I reached out and somebody took my fingers and held my hand.
Wow.
And then the tech came in a few minutes later, and I said, what was that coming out and holding my hand? He goes, I've been in that other room over there, And I was like, that's interesting. I'm feeling, and I felt a hand up under my head when I was in the tub, and I feel somebody comforting me and saying, I'm here with you. And I know it's Jesus because he said it. I had a girlfriend come in from Miami. Now that's quite a trek, and she set me up to do some Reiki on me. And of course, little Butters is between my legs on the Reiki table. And she's got all kinds of crystals going down on me. And I said, Jesus, can you step in on this? And all of a sudden she goes, Jesus is here. And he says, he's got a message for you. I was like, well, give it up. And he said, this is not a battle. This is not a fight. You need to just relax and allow the healing.
Wow.
And I was like, that's the way I'm going to address it too. And I mean, there were nights I woke up in the middle of the night and I'll start getting thoughts, fear, doubt, confusion. These are all really bad things that you have to deal with. And you want to step out of that frame of mind as fast as you can.
Everybody has challenges. Challenges are what make us grow. They're painful.
Fear is a big one nowadays, huge.
Yeah.
Everybody's dealt with some kind of fear. And fear is lack of faith, man.
That's right.
It's like you really have to go, I'm handing this over,
Yeah.
And I've said before, I use the vernacular of what I grew up with. So I say God, and I say Jesus because Jesus is real. And then I say, the Holy Spirit, because I used to go, there's this divine voice. I know him from heaven, but I don't know who he is. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, but people understand when you say the Holy Spirit or something like that. So I just use the vernacular and it's easier for, the general public to understand. So,
Yeah. It's really amazing as you get older. You can look back at your life and see the different milestones and see how things changed you.
Mhm.
And I look back at my life, at the most difficult parts of my life. While you're in it, you feel like you can never get out of it. Like, how are you going to get out of this? It's so hard. And then you look back at it and you realize that that was a springboard to the new you. It was you created a new version of yourself.
And being completely recreated. Completely.
Yeah. And
You know?
yeah, and sometimes you have to go through things that they really are painful for you. For someone else, they may look at it like, oh, that wasn't that big a deal, but for you it is. I think back at Peru, when we were in Peru, and for all of you, we were in Peru in 2020, right before COVID. In fact, we left as COVID, really everything shut
They
down.
were closing the borders and we were getting
Yeah.
out of there. Yeah.
And I went through an experience in Peru that changed my life. It changed my life. And it was the most embarrassing moment of my life because I'm very private. I'm a very private person. I don't like attention on me, which seems weird because here I am on live stream, but I don't like attention on my life. And I was in a situation where I needed help. It was almost like a near-death experience without dying.
Died right in front of us. You turned gray. I mean, it was frightening to everyone. And there was no need for you to be embarrassed, Alba.
But it was. I mean, that was,
it was
yeah. But that was how I felt. It was like, oh my God, here I am in the middle of this group of people who, I didn't really want to expose myself. That was the shattering of my ego almost, and I had to go through this, to me, it was horrific experience. And when I came out of that experience, I truly was a different person.
Yes, you were. You're nice.
I was nicer. I'm nicer now than I was before. What I would say is
you had a wall around you.
I had a wall. And I wasn't being authentic with people. I really had a huge wall with a moat and alligators around me. I mean, I was really like very closed in, and I was always there to help people, but I didn't allow anyone to help me.
Exactly.
And that moment shattered me. Right? So I look back at that, and it was very painful for me to go through that because it was the shattering of the ego and being in a place where this is not what I wanted to happen. And all of a sudden, it's like I see the world with different eyes. I have different tastes. I have different desires.
Yeah.
It was like the old me died and this new person was created. So I look at that milestone in my life that I had to go through, that I had to endure. And, I had been told a couple of days before that I would be, I would be dying on that trip. I was told, and I was told, you are going to die on this trip, but you will reincarnate into a different aspect of yourself. I had no idea what that meant. And I had forgotten that had happened. So this new me is in a totally different place, physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's so funny because I used to be so driven. I mean, I was all business. For many, many years, I was all business and always pushing myself. What else can I do? And now it's like, okay, let's enjoy life,
Yeah.
let's enjoy life. And I don't know how much time I have left on this planet, but I'm not going to be the same person I was before.
Well, we're at the point where for many years, I'm like you, we were living to work.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we got to switch that out to working to live.
Yes, exactly.
because I was a workaholic and so were you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've been slapped down to the point where I had to stop working,
Yep. Yep. I used to have sessions with Tabash, and Tabash is an entity that is channeled by Blair Styra. And Tabash would come on and he'd always bring my father, because my father is one of my guides. And he would tell me straight out, he goes, "We're worried about you. You have got to rest. You're working too much. You're not sleeping enough and you're not resting enough. And we're worried about you." And this went on for several years that they kept telling me this, that, you've
I
got,
feel that.
yeah. And that's even after.
Sister, there's nobody holding a gun to your head that you have to get this done. I mean,
Yep. So right now I'm trying to really listen to my body and do more of nothing, because that's what Yeshua told me in one of my sessions that I had. It was the actual words were, "Alba, I want to see you do more of nothing." And I went, "What?" He says, "You heard me. I want you doing more of nothing."
just chill.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So for all of you out there, workaholics, don't do it.
Life is short.
Life is short, and you have to find what you have as far as a passion, but don't overdo it.
Love and love what you do, and tell your loved ones I love you before you hang up, and give people hugs. If you get a feeling, hey, I want to give them a hug, don't think twice, give them a darn hug. Come on.
Yeah, we need more hugs. And that's one of the things when clients come to see me. I mean, I need hugs. I know they do, but I need the hug. So it feels good to connect body to body.
I saw something recently where a hug for a certain amount of time lowers your blood pressure, heals all kinds of things in you. It's an important thing, and it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
So,
and Todd and just to let you know, Todd Hunt says hello, hugs lady, and hello all. Thanks for sharing, Alba and Sabrina. We've been getting a lot of people talking on here. I just haven't been able to read all of your stuff. We have so many people in India, Holland, Quebec, Croatia, South Africa is on here.
That's one place I gotta go.
I guess Belgium, Belgium, BLG. I think that's Belgium. And let's see what else. This thing is just flying through here.
Wow,
I can't.
Buddy.
So,
a really UN meeting here,
yeah. Kathy says, "Would love to see you both at a gathering in Micanopy." It would be nice, Sabrina, for you to be able to come up to a gathering sometime, hopefully next year.
Well, you know what? I'm doing this acupuncturist right now, and I've been doing some physical therapy, but I can't drive yet. I'm not walking.
Yeah.
If I'm a surfer or a tap dancer, I'd be wiping out all over the place. But I'm going to a ball change within a little surfer stance or something, And they gave me something to move around in the house, and I was like, I'm
a little walker.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I put it in the garage. It represents something I don't want to be part of,
Yeah.
I mean, around, there's plenty of furniture for me to grab, but I fall real easy. I hung out with stuntmen a lot back in the day, and we used to practice falling. I used to practice falling all the time. We just all, sometimes we go places and just fall. Like, oh, what happened to them?
The only time I had to learn to fall, which was really weird, this is a long time ago, was when I was learning how to skydive.
Right.
When I was learning how to skydive, we had to throw ourselves off a picnic table and learn how to land and roll, because when you're coming down and you've got your parachute open, you got to land and roll. And, you got to do it to where you can land, roll, and very quickly turn around and pull the strings of your chute so that it doesn't pull you away again. And because when I was doing it, I was very light. God, I wish I was that weight now, but I was very light. And as soon as I landed, that chute would just pull me across the ground. I'd be eating grass all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go through that training and I was like not good at it. I was like, oh, I do not want to jump out of planes. Forget it.
You know, I did that when I was how old was I? I was like 32 when I did that. And I was going through a phase in my life where I wanted to meet my fears. I wanted to do all of the things that I was terrified of. The first thing I did was I was always afraid of drowning, and I learned how to sail. So I had to actually turn over my catamaran and learn how to pull it up and save
Wow.
myself, right? And then after that, I did the parachute, the skydiving, because I was afraid of heights.
Golly, girl.
And I learned how to, and I loved it. From the first dive, it was like fantastic. But then I realized I still hadn't conquered the fear of the water. So I learned how to scuba dive,
Okay.
right? And then one of the fears that I had was alligators. And so
So now
every
you're wrestling.
we were just talking about alligators.
I'm
So
like, be careful, man. And she's like,
so we had a place in Miami called Shark Valley. If anybody's from Miami, they know where that is. It's in the middle of the Everglades. There's no sharks there. It's just the Everglades, and there's a lot of alligators there. And so I used to go to the alligator farm every year with our exchange students. I had 5 exchange students. And we got to pet the alligators. You know, they had their mouths closed, and we learned all about alligators. And little by little, I was like, okay, they're not that bad. And then I would go in Shark Valley and we would bicycle ride, and we'd have to go around the alligators because they'd just be sunning themselves on the road. I wasn't really afraid of them. But when I moved here, I realized I still had that fear of alligators.
well, I would call it a healthy respect.
Yeah, well, I would shake. So when I moved to this place, I asked myself, why would I do this to myself? Why would I move to a place that my backyard is a lake full of alligators? I mean, come on. And
Yeah.
I realized that
Street here. I mean, we got a
they were my teachers. They were my teachers. And I realized they were my teachers. And if I could feel comfortable seeing an alligator going by and not even, being fazed by it, that I had conquered that fear. And, I'm not going to go up to an alligator, obviously, but I don't have that fear anymore of them. It's like I've conquered that. And so I think all of us need to conquer those fears because it's important. It's important not to have those fears of things. And I definitely conquered the fear of being in the public eye when I started doing these videos for people, because I did not want to be in front of a camera. And none of the people who are on here today would know who I am if I had not been pushed to put myself in front of the camera, because I didn't want to be in front of the camera.
Well, I was real too. And I mean, I was real self-conscious and shy, and I was told I was homely and all that stuff when I was a kid. And,
that changed.
well, I always said, if you can't handle it, develop a personality that can. So I'd come up with an alter ego that says, I'm the most beautiful thing in the room.
And then you became a runway model.
And I'd be doing runway and there'd be somebody looking at me like, oh my God, I wish it was her. And I was like, I have got that one fooled right there,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all just, smoke and mirrors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I had any vanity at all, I wouldn't be here right now. Because I mean, I can't do makeup. I put some lipstick on. I'm not going to get too close so you can see how.
Well, that's been a journey for you too, Sabrina.
Things that move my face around.
That's been a journey for you too, because I know how you felt when you didn't look perfect in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And you've kind of gotten through that.
Well, it's like, oh, whatever. What am I going to do? I mean. I tried to put mascara on. I stabbed myself in the eye. It's like, is it worth stabbing yourself in the eye? I mean, come on, So Because I tried that the other day and I was like, oh my God, I stabbed myself in the eye like 3 times. It hurts. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. I'm gonna ruin my eyes. So I just, well, can't do that. I just have to deal with it. People just have
Yeah.
to do me as is. You know, people are like, why don't you get a little wig? And I was going to get wigs, you know, where my hair was like, where I could see all my scalp. But it's like, I'm starting getting all my hair back. Thank you, Jesus. And
So how does everybody think about Sabrina's hair? What do you think?
it's like there's parts that are the comb over hairs or whatever, whatever's left from, you know, that hung in there. And then there's this, I call it the duck butt hair, which is up underneath, and you can see where it gets thick. See that right there? That's the duck hair right there. And that's what's coming in everywhere. I've been using that Kitsch rice shampoo, and I mean, I really like it. It's brought a lot of hair back. But, you know, it's like I still have to go get a haircut. And I finally got a friend that said, do you need a ride? I'm like, yeah, I can't drive. I tried to cut it myself, and you should have seen it because I got this finger and this thumb don't work. And my scissors were just flying at my face. And I was like, oh, boy, I just can't do that. So,
So Todd says you look great. We love you love you for you, not the looks. Seville says you both look awesome on camera. Miriam says just beautiful. Kathy B says Sabrina's hair is funky. So
it came in my house. I was a physical therapist the other day and said, yeah, I love your house. Your house is quirky. And I said, yeah, I'm quirky. You know what I mean?
She is. Terry says, Sabrina, you are beautiful. Valerie says you're beautiful inside now. And, you know, Sabrina has been receiving a lot of beautiful messages.
Let me tell you, y'all, we had 2 hurricanes and I didn't know what was going on in my neighborhood. I couldn't even get into the driveway, you know, and nobody's going to drive you around. They're all too busy trying to pick up the pieces. And finally, my ex, I'm calling him the husband. I said, you know, hey, if we were going to Home Depot to get something, we were trying to fix some lights in my house that messed up, and we had to default around the Oakland is where my PO box is, and it's a couple of little townships over, and they've got huge oak trees. That's why they call it Oakland, you know. And just, I mean, went across 2 lanes, you know. So we had to do a detour, and it was right there next to my PO box that I just got not long ago. And I was like, "Hey, where's my PO box? You know, can we pop in there?" He goes, "Yeah, because they'll go another way. We'll get up on the highway or something and come back." And I was like, "Okay." So I went and I had a post office box. It's a little one, you know, but it was full of the cutest. Oh my goodness.
Do you have them there? Do you have them there?
To be prepared. So this one is from Kathy Angel. I'm probably not saying that right because it's 2 L's, but she's from Oak Island, North Carolina. And she sent me a gift, and that was really sweet. And it's just a sweet, you know, girl on the beach. Very sweet. And then this guy sent me a rainbow. One friend can change your whole life. Now, this is Stephen Smith, and he's in San Diego. And it's just really sweet. I watched your video with Alba about God's source prayer and our missions here on earth. And he's telling me some personal stuff, so I don't want to really. But much love to you both, and your little dog too.
Butters.
Sabrina, I'm so blessed you're in my life. Thank you, and Alba, for what you both do. Much love to you both, and your dog too. I sure miss my dog, so he must have lost some dogs. So those little sweet baby, you know. But that was really sweet, and California. And then this one. Now this is funky. This is from Andy. His name was Andy. Andy. Okay, BAL. It looks like OGH. And this is Breeder Park, Ohio. This is from Ohio. It's stamped Cleveland, so it must be around there. But he had these like Superwoman. Here, we're trying to.
I'll put it in front of the camera because it's kind of far away. There we go.
Yeah, so it has little stickers, and I can't hold it real good, so I might drop it. Okay, and he had a little Santa Claus thing. It says ho ho ho. Like, quit calling me names there, Andy.
It was cute. He said that he made a little zine, which I guess is short for magazine.
Ah.
And this little book magazine, and there's this little lizard on a rock, and it was all this one big piece of paper, but he folded it. See what I mean? And so here's, I guess the lizard is singing on the rock, and here's the cat, and then the lizard sees the cat when there's no story to it. I think you got to figure it out. So then the lizard flies off the rock, and there goes the cat. The cat goes after it.
Did he create this himself?
Yes, it's all hands.
Wow.
And so then here's the cat catches the lizard, and he goes, yeah, like he's laughing or something. And then he calls it mountain lion. I don't know.
All right.
But he goes, I sent you this little thing, and I know you're looking at it, and I could do better than that. I was like, I can't do better than that. That's hilarious. It's creative. It's cute. And he took the time to do it, which I just, please, this is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
stuff down there, Andy. It's a good job. I love it. And then
Yeah.
this little girl sent me something, and she is Janet Fort from Fort Bragg, California. And look at all this stuff. I mean, these are people putting time and love into this. Look at this. There's stickers.
So Sabrina, just
washi tape.
read off the P.O. box so I can put it on the chat.
Oh, okay. It's P.O. Box 668.
Hold on. Maybe somebody can write it down. I'm full of computers on this desk. Let's see. P.O. Box 668. What else? Oakland?
Oakland, Florida, 34760.
There you go. So send
all
some.
around yes, this is so cute. I can't stand it. And then it's got this other stuff. Look at this whole. I mean, I'm having a hard time. This right hand doesn't work so much. But look, I mean, just so creative. And it's got
So these gifts really help you.
love, all that good stuff. And
Yeah.
then she sent me a little flower picked from the garden in Fort Bragg, California.
Beautiful.
I just thought, God, this just sweetness. And then there's a list of names of people that have sent money to the GoFundMe that Alba started for me, which
and I don't get an email address when there's a GoFundMe, so I could do a thank you on it, but Sabrina wants to actually thank you personally with a thank you card, but there's no email, there's no address when you send a GoFundMe. So you really need that GoFundMe. I know that.
Yes. Oh my God. I've been handing over my finances to God because it's getting bleak.
Mhm.
So thank you. Every penny has helped. But that actually 2 of these people sent me some money. I wrote it on the envelopes. Kathy Angel did. And then okay, come on, Sabrina. This other one. I think it was Stephen Smith. So thank you very much. And then there's Scott Madu, Kingsland, Georgia. Thank you so much, Scott. That was very sweet, very kind. And I'm sorry, it was Anna. Let me get her name right. Madrano Cruz. She's the one that sent me some money too.
I think Anna is on here right now. So Anna, thank you.
She just said, I hope this will help you through these most difficult times. May you be completely recovered soon. Many blessings. I was like, I mean, short and sweet and lovable. All of it means something to me because, the first thing I thought when they gave me that crazy diagnosis was like, am I going to have to go through this solo? I mean, it hit me. I was like, this could be quite the challenge, and then I just kind of let it go. I was like, I can't, because
Alba saw, I can feel the wave of a scream, if you've ever screamed, go down to my toes and come back up. And before it comes out of my mouth, I'm calm.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's just, I can feel that I could possibly lose my mind over whatever's happening, and
Mhm.
immediately go, nope. And I go right into, you'd think I just took a Xanax or something. I don't know. It's like I get so ridiculously calm
Yeah.
because I know that it's not going to help me to freak out. That's not
Yeah.
going to do anything. And I'm one of those that I go, okay, don't let this affect you.
Mhm.
You need to get into a mindset right now.
Yeah.
Just a mindset that can handle it.
Yeah. But I know that you sit in prayer for a long time, even before you get up in the
Mhm.
morning.
I wake up praying. I wake up being grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's important. The first thing that you feed your mind in the morning really sets the baseline for how the rest of your day
I wake up and go,
is going
thank
to
you,
go.
God, here I am. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanna do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Then I cuddle with my little stinker dog here.
Hey,
And
I have a question for those that are watching, because Sabrina both and I both noticed that on 11/1, which was 2 days ago, for me, everything went so synchronistically
yes,
and so smooth.
yeah.
It was like I was almost living a dream. It was just all falling together. I wonder if anybody else had a day like that.
Yeah, because we were running around. This is my third time out in months, and I was banking and voting and going to the acupuncture, and I had my husband running me around and dropped him off at daycare, and everything seemed chaotic, but then it fell right into place.
Yeah, so that was on Friday for us. Um, and I was wondering if anybody else had had that type of day where everything was falling into place.
I mean, it
And
was
it
magical.
it was a magical day for me. It was like I had to get everything done by a certain time.
Mhm.
And I woke up early. I got things done that I was supposed to get done. I went out, I came back, I had a session. And the session was amazing, not being posted, but it was amazing. And it was just like everything was so perfect on that day.
Me too.
Yeah. So I wonder if anybody else had a day like that.
I still have some more GoFundMe names.
Oh, put them out there.
Okay, this is from back in August. Y'all, this hurts. Just sometimes I can just touch something. Feels like I'm being cut. So it feels like paper cuts. Just
Wow.
oh, and you sent a little picture of us, and I still had more hair than them. Okay. Well, here was anonymous. So can't. Well, thank you, anonymous. Lorraine Connell, Olivia Salazar,
Mm-hmm.
Darquise Valenzuela, Stefan First. He sent,
Always. Yeah, he's always online. He's great.
gosh. There's another anonymous, Sarah Painter, Anthony Walker, Lisa Cummings, Carlos Gomez. He tried to
Mhm.
send me some money and I couldn't figure out how to get it. I hope he got that back.
Uh,
Leanne Davis, know that name. And here's Darquise Valenzuela again.
well,
He added a little bit more, or she, I don't know, that's an unfamiliar name to me. And Rich Kind. So all of these people, along with, I mean, let me tell y'all, somebody came back at me and said, well, if you're going to the VA for medical help, they cover it. Because, they thought it was just medical bills. Medical bills are astronomical, and I am paying a percentage of them.
yeah.
But I've also, I'm coming to the tail end of my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
My utility bills were out the roof this last summer. but there's been like taxes and things like that on the house, and I mean just repairs on everything. I have to,
Yeah.
after this last hurricane, I'm looking at a new roof and I'm like, what can I sell? You know what I mean? Because it's just like
Yeah.
insurance, you're paying insurance in Florida. I just paid them a whole bunch of money, and then Texas was a whole bunch of money, and then now it's like my roof is leaking since this last hurricane.
Hurricane. Yeah.
So
if you all can
I mean, I'm not the only one. I can't complain.
No, you're not, but if anybody can help
But
with it, please help Sabrina out, because we need to get you healthy, and we need to get you doing what we originally planned to do, is to get you working with clients,
yes,
get online.
well, that's one thing that has, seeing auras. Okay, I've always seen auras.
Yeah.
But I was in this hospital this last time. These two people came in, and they were with the physical therapy department or whatever at the Orlando VA hospital there at Medical City in Lake Nona. And they were really cute. It was an older guy and this cute little Hawaiian girl. And they came in and they were talking to me about, they were the ones that gave me that wheelchair thing. I was like, no, I want that. No, they were like,
The little walker.
yeah. So the girl, Jenny, she's so cute. She said, so what do you do? And I said, well, to tell you the truth, I just came out, I'm a psychic and I do readings, I do hypnosis, I do Reiki, all this stuff. And she goes, oh, read me. It's just like, yeah, because it's a parlor trick, but so I'll go, I do this little thing that I do to get people kind of prepped a little bit. And I put her up against the window so I could see her aura. And I was just going to tell her about her aura. Well, now all of a sudden something else is happening. Okay. Because I was delving pretty deep into the mediumship thing because I've always done that. But this is new. I mean, because I usually just see an energy emanating off of people, and it has different colors to it. It almost looks like a solar eclipse, the energy that comes off the corona.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, only it's a little bit thicker, but it's an energy, and it's got different colors. And usually, like people in nursing or in the service industry or whatever, if you're especially medical nursing kind of people with that heart and mindset to serve others, and to help others, it's usually a light blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was seeing the light blue on her, and then she had some purple coming in here and there, and then all of a sudden I saw these two boys. There was an aura of a boy about this size and another one on the other side of her about this size. And she didn't have any children. And then I saw this man, and he's, I'm telling her, it's almost like, it's kind of hard to describe, but she was asking me all about it. And these people weren't in her life. They hadn't been. So,
Future.
we knew it had to be the future. And she's asking me about this guy, and I'm just asking him questions. She said, well, what does he do for a living? And he's telling me he did this banking, like techie banking. And I had to ask another friend. He goes, oh yeah, that's forensic, you called it something else, forensic financing or something like that. I was like, never heard of that, And
Yeah.
then he told me where he lived. And I mean, like he already knew her because she was like swiping all over all of these meeting
Wow.
apps. You got to forget those, because this guy's going to come to you, And she was
So since we're talking about that, I really would like to send out a request for all of you to subscribe to Sabrina's YouTube channel.
just getting that started.
Yeah, but you need to have subscribers, because I know that Sabrina's going to start doing work on her YouTube channel, and I don't want everybody to depend on my channel, because we need to get her monetized. We need to get her actually out there, and you're going to need guinea pigs and people to do work on, so that you can start doing your mediumship.
Well, we were doing that when I was studying with Arthur Findlay. We just get a Zoom going, and we go in separate rooms and do little readings with each other and stuff like that. So I have had a taste of that. techie stuff, until my fingers can actually type, because I can't write or anything. The right hand is pretty compromised, but it's getting better every day. But I can always record something, and I've put a few little videos up there. So, I mean, I could, regularly check in and talk to people, tell people what's going on, see what
I'm
they're.
looking up your channel right now just to put a link on it, so people can actually join.
You see the little bird?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see where you are. It's actually
That's
under.
too, because I was eating a piece of candy. I got all this candy over here on the table, and I was like, I can't eat that. I was like, just maybe one little piece, and darn if one peanut didn't get. So I keep going, ooh, what's going on? And I'm like, they're probably going, what's she doing with her mouth?
So I just posted Sabrina's information.
Mhm.
So if you can hop over to her channel and just subscribe so we can get at least the subscribers going. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm like her greatest cheerleader,
Yeah, thank you for that. You're the biggest fan. But like I did when I did that reading on her partner, that blew me away. And I was like, okay, there's something new coming up here. There's
Yeah.
something. It seems like every time I go through one of these restart square one kind of things in my life, it expands my gifts. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But I guess that's part of the program, But yeah, I saw him he had this aura that was golden, all right, and it had the blue, but then it had gold. I mean, real glimmery, and then all up here about this area, I see this orange thing happen,
And what that is.
yeah, and then it had some red, it was red, and then it had orange, and then it had yellow around it, and I was like, that is a flame.
Wow.
And I was like, I've only seen that in like religious pictures and stuff, and then all of a sudden, poof, he's got these wings. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's angelic. And I mean, then I see a woman here, and a girl here. I said, you got 3 women around you, and you are their world.
Yeah.
They adore you. And he says, yeah, I live with my mother, my sister, and my daughter. And I was like, there you go. So, and I said, you just got a commendation. And he did. He had just gotten commendation. And then it came through that he had some tests in life, and he'd already gone through one of them. Exactly what I was talking about. But when I was through with both of these kids, I say kids, but they said, we had been to multiple psychics and stuff. And you just said everything total of what multiple said to her and to me, but you said all and then some. So it was like the multiple readings. I said everything that were in all their readings and then some. So it always kind of blows me away. I just have to let my ego step to the side. Don't question it. Don't try to analyze it. Just as weird as it sounds, just let it come through. But the whole aura thing, for it to incorporate itself with the aura, was new. And I've never heard anybody doing that before.
So I've been encouraging Sabrina to start using her gifts, even though she's going through all of this. I remember, Sabrina, when I was going through my hell back in 2009, I had so many personal issues going on. And I was still doing life coaching while I was going through my personal hell. Like I'd be crying, I'd be in a whole bit of depression because of what was going on in my life, but I still had coaching clients to take care of. And I would put my personal life on hold and put my whole 100% in there for my coaching clients. And I know that you can be doing, there's a lot of people on here wanting to be your guinea pigs already.
Because I mean, if I can serve,
yes,
what's all this about if I can't serve? I mean,
exactly.
I had physical therapists come in here and I'm doing readings on them, and
yeah. So it's important for us to do our work, and it's almost like we heal ourselves when we're helping other people. And I know that happens with my sessions.
Yeah, we learned something too. I mean, it's good for me because, I mean, come on, I'm housebound. I have been just antsy, you know. I mean, I already went through the meltdowny antsy, and now I'm just like, well, you know, what else can I, you
Hmm. Yeah.
know, you know, you get
Yes.
to the point you're like, okay, I can only watch so much YouTube, you know, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to read. At first, my eyesight's a lot better, but it's still, you know,
Hmm.
still
And
not
I,
a loop. So, but now I'm at the point where, I mean, even it doesn't matter what's going on with me, because if I'm here to help,
yeah.
here to serve, this is
So
all the point in me
Jewel,
going through all this.
Jules says, would these readings be on a Zoom call, and how much are they?
Well, we discussed that too. And I mean, the Zoom would be easy, but I don't know how to record it. You'd have to record it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who I am with tech. But and we were talking about what, half an hour for $75 or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's cheaper than what we paid at Casadega.
True. That's true. So if you're interested, Sabrina, how could they get a hold of you? Should they go through your Facebook page? Should they go through your YouTube? How would you like people to contact you if they're interested in doing a reading with you?
Well, I don't know how you do it through.
This is unprepared, okay? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, you hear those gears turning up there? So, I mean, I don't know how to do it through Facebook. How do you do it through? Is it easy to do it through Facebook? Oh, they could message me on Facebook, and then we could figure it out.
So go to her Facebook page, Sabrina Etheridge.
Mhm.
Is it actually just Sabrina Etheridge, or do you have another?
I think it is. I don't know why I'm looking at the table, because it'd be on my phone. I think it is.
Todd says, I see a future of great things happening, Sabrina. I do too.
Bless you.
Yeah, yeah. And Lamb says you could always do a messenger video. So that's another one too.
Okay, there we go. A messenger video.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure, with your talent, you would give them a phenomenal reading.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna time it. I mean, if something's going down, I'm gonna, because like,
Yeah.
seriously, that little girl the day after this past Hurricane Milton,
Mm-hmm.
clear across town. She didn't, I mean, she got on my Facebook right away after I did that reading for her.
Wow.
And yeah, and she drove for an hour through debris and everything after a huge hurricane just rolled through town, and brought me some food. She
There you
brought me
go.
the weirdest drink I've ever, I don't know. She put so
Yeah.
much in there. And I said, well, it's green.
Anna says Zoom may be easier for her. So yeah, we're doing Zoom right now. We just have to find out, like, right now Sabrina can't use her fingers very
Yeah,
well.
I can't, I mean, I dropped my phone like you wouldn't believe. And
Right.
and typing and texting is just a nightmare, because I try to do the voice dictation, and Lord have mercy, what does Siri do with that information? It's
So it's going to be a challenge, a physical challenge, but I'm really encouraging her to start doing this, because I know that when you are doing what you come here to do with passion, when you have this passion for things, you're good at it and you could help other people. And then that's how you pay your bills, okay? Because people will be giving you money for this, because it is worth it.
oh
Right, everybody? Just put
yeah.
in your comments, because that's how the world turns.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm being rebuilt, so
Yeah.
I mean, mind, body, and soul. So the body will catch up. I'm master at healing, I know that. And
You are.
as far as tech, I mean, I'll learn as I go. If people are patient with me, I have to be patient with myself right now.
Yeah. Jules says, thanks for answering my questions. Are only live sessions possible, or can you read people from a distance even without talking to them? It might be easier for people in other time zones. I think you need to see them.
Yeah, I have to see them.
I'm really like about being in person, but when we were doing that stuff with Arthur Findlay, there was one girl, and I just saw her childhood as being like Heidi up in the mountains and everything, and then I saw her dad, and I said he was a Smitty, and so he was a blacksmith, and he did all these very ornate. I could see him hammering in the fire and everything. And meanwhile, this beautiful brown cow kept photobombing. Like, I kept going, whatever. And I'm trying to talk about the guy doing the blacksmith stuff. And she finally goes, is there anything about the cow? I was like, oh my God, the cow. It's like his little favorite cow or something. It was a real pretty cow. I was like, the cow's like, what about me? What about me? And I was like, yeah, I learn something every time, and just don't ignore it. Just say, what's with the cow,
Yeah. And I think a lot of people would really enjoy, they would enjoy your readings for sure, because, and I think as you get more used to the technology, it's going to be easier for you. I know there's a block there for you about technology.
There is. I know why. I just have to work through it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of free technology out there, there's classes, but when you have a block that it's like you don't want to go
It's
beyond.
a post-traumatic stress thing is what it is, So, I mean.
Yeah. So we got to work on that.
Yes.
Just like me jumping out of airplanes and
yes.
alligators. You're gonna have to face your fear of technology.
I'm not afraid of it. I just feel stupid with it because, for the last 15 years, I haven't used it. And just think about how much technology has evolved in the last 15 years. Yeah. I mean, I was all over technology and all that stuff until then. And then my kids lived with me, and they were like tech support, and they, turned me on to it, but now they're not in my life anymore. So, so now I'm like, oh crap, now I've got to pick up the ball and do it myself without help. So, anybody want to give me any tips as I go along? It's not going to hurt my feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and I've been in technology most of my adult life. I mean, I started in technology when I was very young. And I was in IT, actually telecommunications, for most of my life, for decades. And technology has always been really important to me. But I think that my near-death experience has gotten me away from technology. Like, I don't like it anymore. And it's like, I really don't want to learn new technology anymore. And it's becoming more difficult because I think the me, really doesn't care about learning more technology. It's really weird for me because that was everything to me, was new technology, learning more stuff. And now it's like, it's, I don't really, I'm not interested in learning the new stuff. So
here's the thing. It's we know that technology is running the world right now.
Right.
At the same time, there's those of us that have had a near-death experience. Now, NDE people have a magnetic makeup after going through the veil that will affect technology.
Well, so, you affect technology as soon as you walk into a room.
Right. I mean, my kids used to make fun of it, because like we'd be at the store or at the bank or something, the computer would go down the second I got up to the window kind of thing. And they would say it along with the person dealing with the issue. Oh, it's never done that before, because that's me. I make things go down. And I had a box of watches for so long. I never could wear a watch because they'd start running backwards and then they'd freak out and die. And it didn't matter what kind of watch. I mean, I had a beautiful Nina Ricci, killed it. My dad gave me a Rolex, killed it. The Rolex lasted the longest. But, you take it to a watch repair shop and they go, it's like fried,
Well, I witnessed you frying the equipment in California. This is what happened. Linda Moulton Howe was having she was speaking at the Conscious Life Expo. This is in 2023, right? February 2023. And all of a sudden, her computer just like wasn't working.
We were close to we were on the front.
We were on the front row, and all of a sudden, her computer just didn't work anymore. And Sabrina says, "I'm going to leave the room now."
I said,
And she just,
me.
and you just,
And I rolls her eyes, and I said, that's what they always say, you know. And I said, look, I'm just gonna walk to the back of the room and see if the issue doesn't get better. And all these people kept coming up. I mean, all these texts were coming up trying to figure it out, you know. And I just kind of Alba looked at me, you know, she turned around like, what's going on? I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the ladies' room, you know, I'm just gonna get out of here, you know.
and it got fixed.
Yeah. And I came back and I asked this guy, I said, so what's going on? He goes, well, she must have done something. I said, I don't think she did anything.
Yeah.
About that time, they were like, oh, it's back up. And I was like, doo-doo-doo. And I came back up to the front. And I was like, yeah, see, you go to the bathroom, that's when everything gets better, you know?
Yeah. That was a very incredible day for all of us. If you guys haven't seen the video of what we posted, the last video that I posted of Sabrina, it was in it was the 2023, and right after that session with Linda Moulton Howe, I looked at Sabrina, and she was in a trance. Her eyes were already she was not there anymore. And I said, we're going to have a session right after this. And she wanted to go to another session after this, another speaker. And I said, well, we're just going to go have dinner. We'll meet you up in the room. And it was Laura and who was there? Laura, Chastity was there.
Yeah, Charity.
I'm sorry. Charity, Chastity. Charity. Lisa was there. And we were having dinner and waiting for Sabrina to come. And that's when we had the session. I was thinking of putting it out live. We were in California, and I was ready to put the video out live. I said, I've never done this before, but let's do this. And as soon as I started, my microphones weren't working, which never happens, right? Because I do this all the time. It never happened. And the session was really kind of boring. There was really nothing going on in the session. I'm thinking, why was I inspired to give her a session if there's really nothing here? And that's when Sabrina felt like something was crushing her chest.
I will never forget that, because it was like something had landed on me, like the point of a block or something had landed right in the middle of my throat, basically. And you know, we went from there.
Yeah, and that was actually, she had gone into the future timeline, or the future of that timeline, where there was a big earthquake, and basically the hotel was just pretty much demolished, and a lot of people had died. And so we kind of changed that timeline. And that's when I realized why we couldn't get that information out. And we didn't tell anybody about it except for, I told Jimmy Church about it the next day. I told, and I told him to tell Linda Moulton Howe to thank her because she had spoken about tall whites that day, but nothing happened out of it. You know, I think they just thought we were just nuts. And, and it's like, okay, whatever, you know. That's our reality, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't get out. But I wanted at least Jimmy Church to know that we had just shifted a timeline.
And, you keep talking. I'm going to get this little rotten dog over here. Say, Mom.
So that's what happened in February of 2023, and I feel that that's the reason why we were called. I was called to go to that conference. To do that work. I had heard a podcast with someone who was going to be at the conference. I wasn't necessarily excited about hearing this guy talk because he didn't really mean anything to me. The stuff that he talked about didn't resonate with me, but I knew that I had to be at that conference. And I kind of forced Sabrina and Laura Weaver to go with me. And I said, I kept saying over and over again, we need to represent.
Yeah.
They must have thought I was crazy. It's like, no, we need to represent. It's like our ship needs to represent in this conference. We have a lot of different beings from different places, and we need to represent. And that's all I kept saying over and over again. We need to represent. And they kept asking me, well, what speakers do you want to listen to? And it's like, I don't really care. I just need to be there. That was my whole thing. I wasn't interested in any of the speakers. I just needed. I had to represent. Our ship had to represent.
Linda, I had to see Sasha Stone. Sasha Stone was amazing.
Yeah. There were a lot of good speakers. My intention to go there was not really to see the speakers. And people were asking me, well, are you speaking? It's like, no, they don't. I don't think they even know who I am. So, no. I was just there to be there, to hold space in that place with thousands of people. And, we did our job and we left. That's really what we're all there to do. So that was important to me, that we did something. Whether you all believe it or not, doesn't matter.
No.
It's our reality.
Alba was like, we have to go. I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And it worked out,
Yeah. So anyway, let's wrap it up, Sabrina, because we've got 89 people here. And if anybody has a question for us, that burning question, speak now or forever hold your peace, because we need to check out. So I'm sorry, I have not been answering your questions because, when I talk to somebody, I'm there for them. I'm not reading. I don't have a person telling me what's on here. So I thank you all for commenting, but when I talk to somebody, I like to listen to what they're saying, not be distracted. So if anybody has anything, Linda, I think she was my client, so bless both of you ladies.
Oh,
Um,
thanks, Linda. Bless you too.
yeah. Prarita says, are you coming to Chicago? Are you asking me or Sabrina? I don't have any plans right now to travel anywhere.
I just can't. I'm not able to.
Yeah, so I don't have, and I don't make plans like way in advance. I kind of get an idea, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm there. But I don't have any plans to go anywhere at this time. Zaville, we love you. She says no burning questions. Yeah, Zaville's on here.
Yay.
Oh, it's still early. It's not that late over there. It was Anna says it was wonderful seeing you both. What can I do to make things better? I'm very stuck. I really don't want to be here anymore. What do you say for that, Sabrina?
I've heard this before from one of your clients or something.
Yeah, we lost your video, Sabrina.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I get that question a lot about being stuck here.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, Butters is acting up. So hi,
yeah.
Isabel, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
It is time to check yourself. Whenever you don't want to be here anymore, you're missing out on so much good thing. So this is when you start being grateful.
Yep.
This is if you can find anything. I don't care if it's a butterfly going by your window, or having all of your fingers and toes, or having all your teeth, whatever, you're able to breathe. I mean, there is so much to be grateful for. When you don't want to be here anymore, you're missing a point. You know what I mean? You chose to be here. Why do you think you chose to be here? To be miserable? I don't think so.
No.
But finding something to be grateful for, finding some joy. Sometimes it's real hard. Sometimes all you see is dark.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when you need to step back and go, okay, what am I missing?
What is it that I need to be?
And when you're of service to other people, that's when
Help
you
somebody.
shift. You have to help somebody, because when you're thinking about yourself, that's when you get depressed. Like I just said a few minutes ago, when I was going through hell in my life, it was the worst moment of my life, where I was hospitalized twice from the trauma of having gone through the experience I went to. I was still coaching. I was able to set that aside and help other people. So you have to find something that you are good at, that you do love, even if it means, looking at the trees and seeing how beautiful they are, how perfect they are in every way. That's how you have to focus.
Well,
So,
reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. He's saying mom. He's over here saying mom, mom. You're on the phone too long. Anyway, so as far as there's always going to be somebody worse off than you and somebody better off than you. Y'all can hear him saying mom, right? He's over here going mom, mom. I think it's indignance. You could watch Buzz for me if you think you. There's always going to be somebody worse off than you. There's always going to be somebody better off than you. So thank God you're not worse off.
Yeah. And we've all been there. I mean, I had countless times where I said, I don't want to be here anymore. I was much younger then.
I can't take it anymore. Oh my God. Please.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Year, okay. This past year, I could say that, I mean, you could think it, but don't say it out loud,
Yeah.
because you're making it real when you say it out loud. And thank God you're not worse off. There's always somebody worse off.
Exactly.
And aspire to be better off. But do not compare yourself with anybody else. That is not your job. Your job is to go, look, I got to be the best person I can be.
Terry says we came here for this very time, and that is very true. We all put up our hand and said we're coming at this time, and we're here for a reason. We're the best of the best.
You got approved for the mission, so you're a superstar. Just went up. It took courage to just show up. So being here is very important. Okay, you're a very important person, whether you think so or not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel invisible to the world, but guess what? You are here for a reason. Everybody's here for a reason. Everybody that crosses your path is here for you to learn something from. We're all in it together. So don't feel alone, because you're not.
Nope.
And don't let darkness take over, because it really wants to. And we're in a time where there's light versus dark, good versus evil. Okay.
Yeah.
There are some people that the darkness is really, the better people, the darkness is really trying to grab hold of you and drag you. Okay. And what you need to do is shine as bright as you can whenever you feel those feelings, so you can get to the light, because there's going to be people in the middle. And guess what? Right now, we're all choosing a side. It's going to get to the point where it's all light workers or it's all evil people.
Yeah. There's a split.
The gray area. The gray area is confused right now. The gray area is saying there's nothing to live for. I don't know why I'm here. There's a lot of confusion. Okay. Confusion is the devil, for real. So fear, doubt, confusion, you got to get that out of there. You got to get that out of your brain, because that is going to drag you to the dark side. And you don't want to be on the side right now, ever.
Nope.
Because your soul is at risk. Your soul, your very soul, your very essence is at risk when you're going to the dark side. And I pray for the people that are doing it, because they have no idea what they're doing. But, honey, don't ever say, I don't want to live.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I talk to people on the other side, and the ones that say I don't want to live and they take their own life, they have to go through a rehab I wouldn't want to go through.
Right. That's right. That's right.
They go through a serious rehab, and they also are left with the feeling of, I signed up for this. I had an important mission. I called it quits on that mission.
Yeah.
So then you have to go through the whole recognition of that. Now, it's not like you're beat down. It's not like you're going to hell. I've seen suicides and what they go through on the other side.
and it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's real sad. I'd hate to see anybody go through that. You
Yeah.
know, it's a very heartbreaking kind of situation what they have to go through on the other side. Okay, so don't give up on your mission. You might not know what it is. You might not feel like you're in consequence or anything. You might feel like nobody cares, but that's all BS. You know, because you are here for a reason. Just being on this crazy thing with me and Alba, I just saw a huge bird fly across my yard. Oh, it was like a pterodactyl or something. What was that? But anyway, you know, here I am, you know, oh, squirrel, you know, but at the same time, you know, I'm making light of it, and I know you're in a sad place, okay? And I've known loss, and I've known heartbreak, and I've known pain, and that's why I've known it, so I can say these things because I really know what I'm talking about with this, you know.
Yeah.
And giving up is not an issue. We need you on our side. We need you to be part of our clan, you know, part of the tribe of light workers that we're all bonding together. We're the pillars of the temple. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. We need you on our side.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Somebody says here, Alba, what would your testimonial from your experience having a reading from Sabrina? I have not had a reading from Sabrina. I think we're too close to have a reading.
I know her too well.
She knows me inside and out. So I would say do it yourself. Valerie says, what day do you release your newsletter to sign up for sessions? Go to my website, albaweinman.com, and click on the newsletter link. It always has the date there. Okay, let's see. Alba, read my X massage, please. I don't know what an X massage is.
Message or massage?
Yeah, maybe. Alba, are you by chance planning in the future to offer hypnosis class online together with Antonio for those who can't travel? I do not work with Antonio online. I only do in-person sessions, in-person classes with Antonio. He does his own things, and he's an excellent teacher. If you want to learn introspective hypnosis, take the class online. I am not doing online with him, only in person. So if you want to learn introspective hypnosis, in May, we will be in Marriottsville, Maryland. And in June, we will be in the Netherlands again. And we also have a workshop for those of you who don't want to learn hypnosis, but want to really learn the phenomenal skills. It's an amazing, phenomenal is the only word I could think of about this workshop. It's Encounter with Your Soul. That's going to be once again in the Netherlands in May. And I'll tell you, just being at Samaya, Sabrina has been sick of me telling her this, but the food is so incredible.
Sick of it, I'm jealous.
It's so incredible. It's organic vegetarian food, and being there a week eating this food is just, I mean, you feel healthiest that you've been in a long time. So if you get to go to the Netherlands to Samaya and just be with us, it's great. So let's wrap it up, Sabrina. I want to thank everybody for watching. And yeah, please contact Sabrina through her Facebook page. Okay. Look for Sabrina Etheridge. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next video.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll give y'all some readings. That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, how do I get out of this thing? Okay, here we go. You just being bad. What's the matter with you? Mama's on the phone. Mama's on the phone with Miss Alba. Okay. Come here. What's he wanting?